Good evening, Kapuso. Tonight we're going to talk about this question. Which president really made our economy better? The economy isn't just about big numbers. It's about having food on our tables, money to buy rice, and the hope that every Filipino has a job. Every decision a president makes directly affects our daily lives, from farmers to fishermen. As we look back through history, we'll check out the plans and what happened under each president. Not just the facts, but the stories of every Filipino. So who really won the fight for the Philippines' economy? Let's find out. After the war, Elpidio Quirino was left with a country that was broken and struggling. His answer: import substitution industrialization, meaning he wanted Filipinos to make their own products, instead of relying on foreign ones. He put high taxes on imported goods and gave good deals to local businesses. Manufacturing grew, more jobs were created, and the country started building its own industries. But farming was left behind. A lot of money went to industries, so there wasn't enough food. Protecting local industries also made businesses too comfortable and lowered the quality of goods. Even with these problems, Quirino planted the seeds of industrialization in the Philippines. He showed that we can do well if we support our own. But balancing industry and farming is a lesson we should remember. 2 decades of Ferdinand Marcos Sr.'s leadership, a period that promised so much at its outset. It was a time of grand visions and ambitious plans for the Philippines. It started with a lot of hope, with promises of progress and prosperity, but ultimately ended in trouble, leaving a legacy of economic hardship and political turmoil. The initial optimism slowly faded, replaced by growing discontent and disillusionment. Big building projects, ambitious infrastructure endeavors designed to modernize the nation and stimulate economic activity became hallmarks of his administration. Money borrowed from other countries, massive loans secured from international institutions and foreign governments fueled these projects, but also created a growing burden of debt for future generations. And the Masagana 99 program for farming, a program intended to boost rice production and achieve self-sufficiency in food, became a centerpiece of the administration's agricultural policy. All of these created jobs and growth at first. The influx of capital and the expansion of industries led to increased employment opportunities and a period of apparent economic expansion. In the 1970s, we even exported rice, a testament to the initial success of the Masagana 99 program and the country's agricultural capabilities. And new buildings and roads became a sign of progress. These visible symbols of modernization were presented as evidence of the administration's commitment to national development. But the debt grew, spiraling out of control as the country struggled to repay its loans, and corruption exploded, becoming rampant throughout the government and undermining the integrity of public institutions. And projects became places for illegal money deals. Infrastructure initiatives, once envisioned as engines of growth, were increasingly used as vehicles for corruption and self-enrichment. The control of his close friends caused hardship for farmers and small businesses. Cronyism and favoritism stifled competition and created an uneven playing field, disadvantaging ordinary Filipinos. By the 1980s, the economy crashed. The weight of debt, corruption, and mismanagement finally took its toll, leading to a severe economic downturn. Prices went up, soaring inflation eroded purchasing power and made it difficult for ordinary citizens to afford basic necessities, and poverty spread, pushing more and more Filipinos into destitution. The golden years ended in a big crisis, culminating in widespread social unrest and ultimately the People Power Revolution. The lesson, a crucial takeaway from this period of Philippine history. Big buildings and borrowed money aren't enough if there's corruption and abuse. Sustainable development requires more than just impressive infrastructure. It demands transparency, accountability, and good governance. Real progress isn't just about how many projects there are. It's not simply a matter of quantity, but of quality and impact. But about honest leadership. It's about leaders who prioritize the welfare of their people over personal gain. In the end, Marcos's legacy is a warning, a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked power and the corrosive effects of corruption. Bad leadership leads to great suffering. The consequences of poor governance are borne by the people, particularly the most vulnerable members of society. The economy isn't a game of numbers. It's not just about GDP growth or stock market performance, but the lives of every Filipino. It's about their well-being, their opportunities, and their future. And every decision has a price. Every policy choice has consequences, and it is the responsibility of leaders to consider these consequences carefully and act in the best interests of the nation. After the dictatorship, Gloria Aquino inherited a broken economy and a country full of fear. She got rid of monopolies, sold off government-owned companies, and started the Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Program, CARP, for farmers. But changes were slow, and she faced many attempts to overthrow the government and a power crisis, daily blackouts, businesses losing money. Despite everything, she brought back the world's trust and set up the base for democracy and a fair economy. Her legacy, the start of recovery, even if slow, and giving more people a voice. Fidel V. Ramos, often remembered as FVR, stepped into office in 1992, inheriting a nation eager for continued progress and stability. His presidency was characterized by a strong focus on economic reform and national unity. He built on the foundation that Gloria Aquino left behind, taking the reins of a country still navigating the complexities of a post-Marcos era. Aquino's administration had restored democracy, but significant economic challenges remained. Ramos recognized the need for decisive action to propel the Philippines forward. One of the most pressing issues he tackled head-on was the crippling power crisis that plagued the country. Daily blackouts were stifling economic activity and frustrating citizens. He understood that resolving this crisis was paramount to attracting investment and fostering growth. He used special powers to fix the power crisis. Blackouts stopped, bringing immediate relief to households and businesses alike. This swift resolution earned him public trust and demonstrated his commitment to effective governance. With a stable power supply secured, industries became lively again, humming with renewed activity and optimism. Factories could operate at full capacity, and new businesses began to emerge, eager to capitalize on the improved economic climate. He opened up the economy, embracing a policy of liberalization to attract foreign investment and promote competition, making it more free, encouraging entrepreneurship and innovation. He streamlined processes, removing rules, and cutting red tape to make it easier for businesses to operate. He also embarked on a program of privatization, selling government companies to private investors. He got rid of the phone company's monopoly, breaking down barriers to entry and fostering competition in the telecommunications sector. This led to improved services and lower prices for consumers. He sold government-owned businesses, believing that the private sector could manage them more efficiently and effectively. And he actively invited foreign money to come in, creating a more welcoming environment for international investors. As a result of these policies, the economy grew, experiencing a period of sustained expansion. More jobs were created, providing opportunities for Filipinos and improving living standards. The Philippines was gaining recognition on the world stage, and we were called Asia's new tiger cub, a testament to our burgeoning economic potential. But we became too open to foreign money, perhaps a little too enthusiastic in our embrace of globalization. When the Asian financial crisis hit in 1997, the vulnerabilities of this approach became painfully clear. The country was quickly affected, as capital flight and currency devaluation sent shockwaves through the economy. Despite the turmoil, we didn't completely crash, thanks in part to the reforms implemented earlier in Ramos's term. But we saw the weakness of relying too much on other countries, highlighting the importance of building a more resilient and self-sufficient economy. Even so, Ramos's time was a golden age of making things modern and growing fast, leaving a lasting impact on the Philippine landscape. The lesson learned was clear: open the economy, but stay careful and ready for problems. A balanced approach is crucial for sustainable development. Balancing change and protection is key to steady growth, ensuring that the benefits of progress are shared by all Filipinos. Joseph Estrada brought the message "ERAP for the poor," focusing on farming and small businesses. He set aside money for irrigation, farm-to-market roads, and support for farmers and small and medium businesses. But his time in office was full of corruption and favoritism, like the Waitengate scandal and his midnight cabinet. Investors lost trust, and confidence in the economy dropped. Estrada was removed from office, and his term ended in the middle of a political crisis. The lesson: good plans aren't enough. You need clean leadership. Public trust is the base of a strong economy. Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, who was an economist, made sure the government spent money wisely and improved tax collection. The most talked about was the expanded value-added tax, EVAT, which brought in billions of pesos for buildings and RoRo ports. She helped the BPO industry grow, creating hundreds of thousands of jobs, and increased money sent home by Filipinos working abroad. Even with the global financial crisis, the economy kept growing. But she couldn't escape claims of corruption, like Hello Garci, NBNZTE, and others. Many Filipinos didn't feel the progress. Poverty and inequality were still high. Her legacy, a strong economy on paper but not felt by most people. Real progress should be felt by everyone, not just a few. Benigno Aquino III started straight path, making good governance the main strategy. His leadership was based on zero-based budgeting, openness, and fighting corruption. The Philippines got a good credit rating for investments, foreign money poured in, and the economy grew by more than 6% each year. The Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino program, 4PS, education and health were made stronger. We were called Asia's rising star, and more money was put into social services. But his government was criticized for growth that didn't include everyone. It wasn't felt by all, especially in farming. Response to some disasters and projects was also slow. Despite this, he left a strong economy and more trust from the world. The lesson: good governance and investing in people are key to long-lasting progress.